Hi Taurus, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast. This is for July 15th through July 21st, 2019. I'm going to start off by pulling a card for your overall energies for the week. And since we are now in the second week of retrograde, I'm going to pull another card later on in the reading to see about any energies that are returning that are unwanted. Why are they returning? Since we're at the peak of retrograde this week, which is when things are most intense. So anyways, Taurus, let's pull a card here for overall energy for the week and see how everything is going for you guys. Okay, so we have the Mouse Spirit, tend to the small things. All right, so Taurus, with this coming out as overall energy, this looks to be a very busy week for you guys, but more important than that, double and triple check things this week, okay? I was about to say, that's especially during a retrograde, like as if I didn't know it was retrograde. Yes, it is retrograde. And this coming out as your overall energy, Taurus, this week, definitely double, triple check, especially like text messages, okay? If you're sending pictures or certain things you wouldn't want everybody to know about, just really make sure you're sending it to the person that you intend. Same thing with emails. You know, save your work more often than you do, just because, you know, electronics tend to go a little wacky during a retrograde, Mercury retrograde. So Taurus, for you guys, I kind of feel like you're really feeling that retrograde energy this week. And pay attention to everything, and especially things that are like kind of starting to repeat in your reality over and over, a specific word, a repeating number sequence, an animal of some kind, a certain song, a phrase, a movie title, you know, anything. If it just all of a sudden is starting to repeat, look into it. I mean, if it's an animal or a number sequence or a color, you know, those are really easy to research. There's a lot of information out there, you know, but if it's like a song or something, that may be a little more vague. But regardless, Taurus, anything repeating in your reality this week, dig into it further. Be curious about it. Ask Spirit to bring you more information, because that is the universe speaking to you, you know, through these repetitive sequences of, you know, various things. It's your synchronicities, it's signs for you. And again, if you read something and it like rubs you wrong, reread it, okay? It might be that you just misread what was intended, especially like in emails or texts. If you feel very offended or you're kind of like, well, did you mean it like that or whatever, ask first before you assume with this card as your overall energy. So let's pull some dice, Taurus. Oh, and I pulled you guys 6. I was only going to pull 5, but you get 6. Okay, yeah, because look at this. We've got the King of Swords. Next out, we have the Queen of Cups. Next out, we have the Page of Swords. The Lovers. The Hanged Man. And lastly, the Knight of Swords. Okay, so we have all the everybody but the Queen of Swords up here for the sword suit, okay? So yeah, that's a lot of mental energy and a lot of communication going on, Taurus. And this right here, you know, could represent a Gemini, which is more air energy. So man, some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, because this is air, 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 and air, all right? And then we have this Queen of Cups, which could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But yeah, Taurus, look, everything I just told you with that card, this is Spirit is saying really pay attention to all the details. With the Hanged Man there, it's like pay attention, make sure that you comprehend what is being said to you. Make sure you're not emotionally reacting and, you know, snapping at somebody or getting petty or reacting or allowing them to trigger you emotionally, okay? Because I see a lot of emotion. It's like Spirit saying, nope, stop yourself, reread messages, ask somebody to repeat what they just said to you. And before you're like, wait a minute, did you just come at me like that? Be like, hey, is this what you meant? And if they're, you know, if they're like, well, yeah, that is what I meant, and they were meaning to come at you, I mean, then I guess it's up to you. But there's just a high chance of misunderstanding and miscommunication going on this week, and that's pretty natural for a retrograde. But man, Taurus Spirit's really bringing that up because you have 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, maybe even 5 different people showing up in your reading, okay? And it's all about communication and emotion going on here. So, you know, really just double read, double check who you're sending your communications to. You may receive some communications that were not intended for you, okay? Also, yeah, Taurus, on the other side of that, some of you may stumble upon some information or different things that was not intended for your eyes or for you to ever know about. And it doesn't have to be like malicious against you. It just could be like you find some stuff out about somebody. And with the Hanged Man here, I would highly recommend like just keeping it to yourself for now, whatever is, you know, you stumble upon, because I do see some communication about it, but it's like you've got to wait for the right time for it to be brought up and, you know, brought out to the light, like truth and facts revealed with that Knight of Swords right there. So Taurus, yeah, this week I cannot stress enough to pay attention to every little detail of what you're saying and sending out in messages and what's being said to you, you know, in messages and just even verbally. Also, save everything, like screenshot messages if you can't keep them permanent. Like just save, like keep your receipts this week. In the drive-through, double check your bags, double check if you're paying in cash, make sure you're receiving the proper change, okay? It's just, man, a lot of chance for misunderstanding, miscommunication, overlooking something. And it's just, I feel like it has a lot to do with Mercury retrograde, Taurus. So let's pull some more cards here. All right, so we have tender shoulder. We have this will pass. And we have let's rethink, change. Okay, so Taurus, with these 3 cards coming out, clarifying the dice a bit more, yeah, somebody might actually reveal some stuff to you, like in their weak moment. You might not just accidentally stumble upon it, man, with this coming through. Yeah, Taurus, I just think some of you, there's some interesting information like that's going to be told to you or said to you. Like you're just going to find out some things and you'll be like, whoa, I never would have thought that or anticipated that, okay? Like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's some shocking secret. I don't see the Tower here or anything. But also with this, the Hanged Man and let's rethink, that is so strong, Taurus, where you may very much misunderstand what somebody is saying to you, misread it, or maybe send a message to an unintended person because the Hanged Man is all about changing perception, right? You're blocked until you can come into a new thinking, and this here, let's rethink, change. Yeah, Taurus, I'm sorry to keep going on about it. I'm just like, no, be really careful, pay attention so much to everything you're saying and to who you're sending it to, as well as, you know, who's saying what to you and sending stuff to you. And if you feel triggered or upset, you know, really pull back and ask somebody else to read the message and just see if you're receiving it properly, because Mercury retrograde is all about miscommunication, and it's in Leo. Okay, so that's a fire energy. That's such a recipe for, like, you know, kind of explosive misunderstandings where both people in the situation feel right and entitled and feel their side is the, you know, right way to go. And it's it doesn't mean like one person's wrong and the other person's right. It's just neither side is able to see, you know, the other person's side or even the middle ground. And there could be some of that going on. And if you feel that, Taurus, just kind of take a step back and don't push it and give it a little bit of time, because with Mercury retrograde in Leo, yeah, it's just people are going to be very stubborn in their stance and their belief, and it's going to take a lot to persuade them and shift them out of it, okay? But this will pass. So any sort of, you know, butting of heads and standoff you might be having with somebody, it will pass, okay? Also, so there may be, you know, people coming to you because they're experiencing all of this with somebody else, and you'll be like, oh no, don't worry about it, it's just gonna pass. We're in Mercury retrograde, it's in Leo, it's intense, we're just stubborn right now. Like, everybody is advocating for themselves and wanting to be seen and wanting to be heard and, you know, wanting to feel like they matter, and their opinions and their thoughts and their feelings. So there's a lot of that going on too, Taurus. It's crazy. I was going to pull just one card to see what is coming to you in Mercury retrograde, the second week of it, you know, that may be undesirable, like why undesirable things are returning, what they're meant to teach us. And for you guys, I don't really see like a whole lot of things returning. It's more like you're just feeling Mercury retrograde energy, like the confusion and the misunderstanding, whether it's happening directly to you or you're just seeing it go on around you and you're trying to help others through the crazy chaos. Oh my gosh, look at this. We have change. You have change right there too. So this says, leap forward and dare to make that change. There will be sacrifices and roadblocks, but you are protected. It is an imminent move. What is stale and depressed will be revitalized with this new energy. Okay, so Taurus, what I kind of feel here is if anything's returning, because we have the Hanged Man, this card, change, let's rethink, and change right there, and how this says you're blocked. To me, anything that's returning to you is like energy that is blocking you, is hindering your movement forward. And the reason for that is not a punishment. It's for you to change your mind, to rethink things, to see things from a different perception than you had before. Because in that different viewpoint, I don't know, it just changes your energy. It changes everything. And this right here, you know, tend to the small things. Pay attention to every little detail this week. And in that space, I just feel perhaps you see a whole nother picture or understanding about a person, yourself, a situation, your life, etc. than you've ever really seen before. And it's very liberating and freeing to you. So Taurus, any energy I see coming back unwanted in this retrograde is like blockages, barriers, but that's only in existence because Spirit's trying to help you shift your mind about something, and thus expanding your consciousness, elevating your vibration. So let's pull two final cards, one for your week energy advice, and then one for this Mercury retrograde unwanted return. For the week, we have freedom. Okay. And for retrograde, purification. Nice. All right. So with the freedom coming out as the advice for the week, yeah, Taurus, listen, don't get don't get like too sucked into any one thing. Kind of keep a distance with messages, perceptions, like all of that, okay? Because there's a high probability for misunderstanding, miscommunication, being emotionally triggered, and I just feel the more you distance yourself from that and remind yourself of the crazy energy right now, like the better off you are, okay? Because this will pass, whatever, you know, all this crazy is for you personally, that just involves other people, really. I don't feel like your life is all upset and turned upside down. It's just like a lot of misunderstanding, miscommunication. And then over here, for the unwanted, you know, Mercury retrograde energy returning, purification and change, yeah, Taurus, Spirit's really trying to help you shift your mind, shift your thoughts about something. And that's what the purification is, because in that process, Taurus, it's a fundamental change and shift in you, okay, which rises your vibration, changes where your frequency is, which opens you up to other experiences, opportunities, and people that you wouldn't be otherwise. You know, the birdcage on here, the freedom. All right, so Taurus, those are your messages for this week. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.